What's up everybody, Danny here with The Neighbor's Kitchen. 2 years ago during a snowstorm, I decided to use my air fryer kind of like a smoker and barbecue a poor man's brisket. It came out phenomenally, and that kind of turned into a winter tradition on the channel. So this year we have 13 inches of snow on the ground and single digit temperatures, but we also have a new air fryer to play with. We have the Cosori, and we need a new cut of meat to play with too. This year, we're gonna see if we can barbecue some beef short rib sections. I think this is gonna be a lot of fun. I've actually been looking forward to this. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. Now let's get cooking. Okay, so every time that I do this, I have to answer the question first. How are we going to throw some smoke flavor using an air fryer? It's obviously not wood fired. We're not going to put wood inside of it to kind of smolder and burn. We're still in the house. We have to be respectful of our surroundings. So I'm going to use a binder. We're going to use yellow mustard and throw a little bit of hickory liquid smoke at it. I know a lot of people aren't fans of liquid smoke, but I stand by the fact that if you're using liquid smoke for your outdoor smoker, you're doing something wrong. If you're doing something inside, well then it's okay. So what I'm gonna do is we're gonna get a little bit of mustard out. Look at that, already making a mess. A little bit of this goes a long way. So I'm gonna start with, I don't know, just a few drops there. And once it's nice and combined, we're just gonna go ahead and give it a little taste test in case we need to add more or start over from scratch. I'd like a little more. Give it another taste test. Yeah. Well, I like it. We can set this aside for a moment. And let's dive over to the Spice Factory. Now, last year we did pulled pork, and I used applewood smoked sea salt. But we're going with beef today. And since I also picked up the hickory liquid smoke, I found some hickory smoked sea salt. So, pretty excited to try this. I already opened it, but I haven't tasted it. It smells really good. This is genuinely smoked. Pretty excited, not gonna lie. So we're gonna use that. I really like beef. Okay, and I don't like to cover it up with a whole lot of flavor. So I'm gonna keep it pretty simple. We're gonna go salt, onion powder. We're going to add a little bit of smoked paprika. That will help with a little bit of smoke flavor, and garlic. What else do I want? Ah! Yeah, we're gonna keep it simple. We're gonna go salt, pepper, garlic, onion, smoked paprika. I think I'm gonna go 2, 1, 1, half parts. All right, there we go. I've doubled our recipe. Look at the color of the smoked sea salt. That's kind of neat. So let's get this all mixed up. There we go. Meep. Give this a good mix in case anything settled out. Put this over here. Let's get our binder on. And let's get these guys coated. Cool, there we go. Enough to spare should we want to add more later. Let me move a few things around and let's get to the plan. All right, so since Cosori sent me this 6-quart TurboBlaze air fryer, I've really got to know it and I've kind of fallen in love with it. As a matter of fact, my instant air fryer that I used in last year's installment of this video series, it's on the shelf for garage sale season. I like this a lot. It's super non-stick, has really cool controls. But since we're using it in a non-standard way, let me show you the plan I have for tonight. So, it defaults to air fry because that was the last time I used it. The air fry setting only goes down to 300 degrees. That probably would still work, but we try to treat this series as close to barbecue, low and slow, as possible. And what I'm kind of going for tonight is I want, since these are short rib sections, you buy these for braising and put into stuff like that, not necessarily smoking. So I want that nice fall off the bone braised texture with the smoked kind of crust. Can we get it both ways? I don't know, but here's how I think we're going to do it. I think what we want to do, we're actually going to use the dry setting, which is for dehydrating. It goes up to 200 degrees, and you can see it is on the lowest fan speed setting. That's what this indicator is. So we have the lowest temperature I can find at the lowest air fry setting. We're going to use this setting to go up to 175 degrees internal. And we're going to get the last 20 to 30 degrees on air fry at 300 degrees for that nice crust bark we're looking for. So, I don't think it's going to take 6 hours. I don't know how long it's going to take. My ThermoPro temp spikes and my Meat Stick V are a little bit too big. They're going to poke out and they're going to give us inaccurate readings. So I'm just going to keep my eyes on this like a hawk and use my regular old instant read thermometer. Not a big deal. It is go time. So we're just going to space these out. Hopefully we can get enough space around them. There's one. There's two. This one's the biggest one. I don't think these are going to cook at quite even paces, but that's just part of the thing where we're going to have to keep an eye on it. Can we get this guy in there? What do you think of that? I don't think that's bad at all. So we're going to lock this in here. We'll leave it at 6 hours. I'm going to use my phone as a timer. 200, lowest fan speed. We're going to hit the play button. And here we go. I'm going to come back in an hour and see where we're at. Here we are. We have just surpassed the first hour. I would like to describe to you the smell that is just all over the house. It's fantastic. It smells like hickory smoke. I don't know if that's more from the liquid smoke or from the salt we used today. I'm going with the salt because I've used the liquid smoke before and it hasn't smelled like this. So I'm a big fan of that. Also, you hear how quiet this is? I don't know if you can hear this. I'll put it on a different microphone. The DC motor in the Cosori air fryer is so quiet. I know we're at the lowest fan speed, but when the furnace kicks on because it's so cold, you can't hear this at all. And my furnace isn't loud. But it is time, after the first hour, to run our instant read thermometer and see where we're at. So, you guys ready? That's after an hour. Let's go with a medium. Oh, I'm just getting bone there. Okay. We're at 148. So these were probably around 40 degrees when I put them in. They were on the counter acclimating a little bit while I got cameras out and started to get prepared to record the video. So it climbed about 100 degrees, we're guesstimating, in 1 hour. Let's give it 20 minutes and see if we're close to 170, 175. And then we'll switch to the air fry mode. All right, we've reached our 20-minute mark, past the hour mark, so an hour and 20 minutes if you know how to math, unlike moi. There we go. Certainly starting to get some fat to render. Smells good. We're at 155. Let's do another 20. Wherever that's at, because we're close to the stall. We know the stall happens around 160, depending on the percentage of fat content and collagen. I think another 20 minutes. Wherever we're at, we're going to put it on air fry mode.
You sure about that?
I think we're going to keep an eye on air fry mode because we want that bark. The Cosori has really good ventilation around it, around the grate, because it's higher up than other models. I think I might still like to flip it halfway through so that we have a nice even crust around it. I don't know. I think that's a good idea. So, okay. Here we are at an hour and 40 minutes. Let's take a peek, get a baseline. I think regardless of where we're at, I'm gonna turn it on to the air fry mode. Looking pretty good. We got our bones starting to show. So that means that our fat is rendering. Oh yeah. Look at that. That was the number 2 size. It was a 162. Here's the big one. 157. So we're pretty close to the stall. I feel like we should go 20 more minutes on the low temperature. Yep. 20 more minutes. I know I just went back on my word. 20 more minutes at 200. We'll see where we're at. And then I bet you that we're actually going to be closer to 160 because we're right at the stall. So all of those fats, they've started to render, but right now is where they're really doing their thing and liquefying. Yeah, we'll do that. 20 more minutes, then we're going to air fry mode. All right, we're at the 2-hour mark at 200 degrees on the lowest fan speed on the Cosori with our ribs. And you can tell, especially on this guy, that things are going well. So I think what I'm going to do, we're going to flip these now. Oh my goodness, this smells good. I'm flipping them before I take a temperature because I'd just like to get the probe on the bottom side real quick. See, we got a little bit of beautiful color going on the bottom side. This air fryer does a really good job at getting the airflow on the bottom. We're stuck at 160 after 20 minutes. And I got that deep enough that it was still in the middle It wasn't towards the bottom. So we are, as best as I can tell, at the stall. I'm gonna go to air fry. We're gonna take that all the way down. You see it doesn't go below 300. We're stuck at 160. We're in the stall. The higher the ambient temperature, the longer it's going to take to get into the middle so we can do a good rest. Instead of another, let's give it 20 minutes and see where we're at. So I'm going to go over here. We're going to do 300 for 20 minutes at the highest fan speed. You guys see that? Love that feature. Let's hit the go button. We've got 2 minutes left on our first cycle of air fry at 300. Can you guys hear this DC motor? It's still super quiet, but this is the max fan speed. The hickory smoke smell is all through the house. It's crazy. All right. What do we got going on? It's working really well. Let's give these a flip. Sorry, trying to give you the best camera angle possible. I just can't stay out of the way. All right, they're all flipped. Let's get a baseline temperature. Oh, guys, we're doing really well. We're at 188. I know that dropped as soon as I pulled it out. I think another 20 minutes. I'm gonna hit the play button. We're getting close, guys. I'm getting pretty excited. They look pretty good. Are we done? We're at 204. I don't know how I nailed that perfectly. We've got one last step. We got to do a bit of a rest. And I think if we go warm, 170. I'd like a little lower. What if we go back to dry? 135. How low does the time go? Let's go 135 for half an hour. That'll be a good rest. And then we're biting into these suckers. Ladies and gentlemen, here we go. We're at the end of our rest in the Cosori air fryer with our short rib sections. About to find out how these turned out. After a 30-minute rest, they look pretty good, honestly. Well, I guess there's nothing left to do but see how we did. I'll pick. Let's go with the small one. Looks pretty good. You ready? Oh my gosh. Oh. It's so juicy. Hang on. It's so smoky. The hickory flavor. Oh my goodness.
That is happening in dreams. Dreams are very bizarre. Have you ever lucid dreamed?
This isn't even fair. This is better than anything I've actually ever smoked. Turned out very well. The hickory smoke flavor we got from the sea salt, phenomenal. The texture was perfect. Oh my goodness. Guys, it was perfect. Wow. Guys, this was a capital W win. Holy moly. I can't get over that. I can't wait to eat the rest of these. I want to thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I do actually encourage you to try experiments like this at home. With a little bit of know-how and guidance, you're going to be successful. It's going to be great. You don't need a $1,200 Traeger to get Traeger results. You need an air fryer. Once again, thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. Hey, I absolutely love this series. I hope you guys do too. Every winter, I try to make one of these videos of trying to do barbecue in my air fryer. So, thanks for watching. Appreciate you so much. Hey, if you're an air fryer company, we haven't used the same one twice yet. So hit me up. My email is in my channel. Maybe in 2027, yours can be featured on this. But hey, guys, thank you so much. Till next time, be well. Goodness.